That's bad.
All right, out here at Pops' place. This Camaro has been sitting here for 6 or 7 years, just left to rot, and we're finally gonna move it from here to on the other side of the trailer over there in actual death row, because Pops wants to be able to pull this truck and trailer through here and just leave it parked here all together. So I'm gonna hop in this thing. It's really not a bad car. I keep thinking about just doing something with it, but it's not actually ours. So kind of a tough situation. The guy who owns it, we can't get a hold of him. He seems to have just forgotten about the car, which sucks. The interior, honestly, is not too bad. At one point, this was new carpet. The seats are all right. Headliner's good. Dash still looks great, needs to be cleaned, but yeah, I keep thinking about doing something with this car, but it's a weird situation because it's like, obviously the guy forgot about it or just doesn't care anymore, but we can't get a hold of him to get the title or anything, and don't really want to like put a bunch of time and money into something that then he's gonna just show up one day and be like, hey, I want that car back. So it's just weird. That's why it's been sitting, but it does really suck because it's not a bad car. When it was dropped off, the paint was just done. A fresh gloss black with some blue flames on the front. And it looked pretty decent. But it is what it is. He didn't actually tell me where we're taking us. I just came over here, got the tires aired up. Because like I said, this thing's been sitting for 6 or 7 years. Did it fall off? Oh, there we go. And make sure this thing's in park. Oh, there goes the shift cable. I think we're in neutral. And the door came open. Oh God. Oh, frick. Holy moly. This is hard to do one-handed. Whew. Are you trying? What are you doing? This freaking guy. Guy. Yeah, we did actually lose the shift cable. It's somewhere out there on the grass.
Shift cable?
Yeah, I noticed that. Hey, come on now.
Can't hurt the paint job.
The disrespect. You got a block for the wheels? Or an old piston, maybe? Poor car, man. It could be a cool car with a little love. But now we're going to take Jack over to my place and eventually get started on some of the work on that. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Look at this guy. we got Jack here. You can see one new addition to the truck, amongst many others. So we're gonna get this thing unloaded real quick. Alright, so we got Jack Black over to my place again, and we're going to slowly get started on the turbo setup and try to come up with some ideas on how we want to go about it. So there's a few different options. One is to get like the log style manifold for over here, and then do either a shorty header over here to a crossover, or the stock manifold to a crossover, and then just have the turbo right here. We thought about getting the manifold, and then I can cut the end off and then move the turbo out here to where we want it more. Like I said, a few different options with that. Another one that I considered is flip this around like it would normally go down and back, and then have that go under, connect into this side, and then bring the pipe up through here to the turbo right in this area. Pops wasn't really keen on having the exhaust go under the K-member. I think there would be plenty of room, to be honest. I think the only times it would be an issue is possibly like loading or unloading the truck, but as far as once it's in the staging lanes and going down the track, unless he does like it really comes up and then he has to slam the front end down like coming down from a wheelie or something, it really shouldn't be an issue. But if he's not into it, then I'll keep trying to figure something else out. And then another option we have is the up and forward style headers, almost like this, but not quite. And to be honest, I'm not typically a huge fan of those, just because they create extra work. They solve one issue and create another problem as far as the coil packs and spark plug wires and everything. Now, obviously, it's not a huge deal. We could move the coil packs to like the firewall or something, but it creates extra steps that I usually am not a fan of. But I have a buddy down the road, Dustin, who just happened to have a set laying around that he said I could use to test fit on this thing. So we're going to pull these off real quick and test fit. When I was kind of picturing the LS swap in this thing, I was thinking kind of like the RX-7. The only accessory on that is the water pump and the alternator. However, Pops just desperately needs his power steering, which, to be honest, I get. It's a big old heavy truck, and this gearbox isn't exactly great for just having the lines looped like that. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I get it, but this one we have is out of like a Trailblazer. It's not the normal truck style one where the fill cap is kind of tucked down here. So it's kind of in the way. So, I mean, we can always get a different one. That probably wouldn't be a huge deal. We can go to just about any junkyard and find one, or probably find one on Marketplace that some dude's just giving away. Which sucks because I've thrown away so many of those. But, we will see if the up and forward header is clear. I don't think it will. I think it'll want to come right through where this cap is. But only one way to find out. I'm going to get these pulled off and we'll test fit the Flotex on there. Alright, let's test it. Yeah, it's right there. Not gonna happen. Ain't no chance. Well, let me see how the other side fits at least while we've got them. Yeah, this I can move back to here, save a little bit of room. You know, these actually probably wouldn't be too bad for the coil packs and wires. This one would be a little tight, but I think if we just put a wrap on it, it'd probably be alright. Ow! Screwed me. Alright, got this off, and it looks like this reservoir is just held in with 2 clips and then it slides off. So we'll try and pop these off and see if we can get it on there. Got these pins off. They weren't too much of a pain in the butt, but just enough to where I didn't want to turn the camera on. Alright, let's make some mess. So yeah, it looks like can basically get a remote reservoir and just connect it to everything, I think. Let's get that back on the truck. We'll test fit the header. Hopefully it'll clear now, and then we can move forward. All right, take 2. That hose I'm not worried about. There we go. Yeah, this hose we can bend out of the way, so that's not a big deal. So those will actually work. Let me tighten them down real quick to get them actually in place, and then we'll do some more thunking. I think these will work. Much to my surprise. It very slightly bugs me that this one's so much higher, but I think they probably did that just to make sure it clears steering shafts and stuff, and probably so it actually clears the stock truck power steering reservoir. But yeah, it clears great. I really thought that these were going to be a lot closer to the valve covers, but it should clear the valve covers and the plug wires. And like I said, we can get the heat sleeve stuff to the heat wrap to go over the plug wires, and that will help. Yeah, that greatly simplifies things. And we've got all this room through here for a pipe wherever we decide to run it. We'll just have to figure out, we'll have to make sure we think about the charge pipe into the intake also. So let me grab the turbo to start mocking things up. I don't have the 85 here. I lent that out. Hopefully by tonight Sean will pull that off his car and I can use it to start mocking things up. But for now, I still have the turbo off the Mustang. I mean, that's almost cool. But I don't know how well the charge piping will do like that, because this one will most likely be coming straight through here, and then they'll come into this together. So that's one of the reasons I'm much more a fan of the hot side piping coming up to the turbo, because there's just one less thing to avoid or think about when you're making the cold side piping. And like I said, I can cut these back almost 3 inches, and I do have to keep in mind that the 85mm turbo is much bigger than this one. Alright, I've been doodling away on this truck for about 15 minutes now, and I think I have an idea. So, the easiest way, no doubt, would be to just 90 off that, straight across, merge into a 90 off this, and then put the turbo here. Don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is 90 off this, angle down, and then back up. This will come almost straight into this. There will be a little kick here, but this will come pretty much straight out, and then the crossover will come and merge into this. I'll have the wastegate here on like a 45-degree angle, give or take. And then we'll have the turbo here in the grill, which is always tight. And then we've got plenty of room for the charge pipe into the intake. Should work perfect. And we've got the turbo plenty high enough to gravity feed into the oil pan. The line for the oil feed to the turbo off the oil pan won't have to be super long. It can be, looks like a 40-inch line would probably be perfect. And looks like everything should work out. It'll clear the radiator hose, which is awesome. It should clear the radiator hose over there, no problem, because it'll come like kind of down like this. It'll be real easy to take off and service anything if we ever have to, which is always a goal, is make it easy as possible to work on. Like the whole turbo kit on the RX-7 I can have off the car in like 10 minutes. So this one will be a lot easier than that, because for the most part, it'll be undo the V-band for the downpipe, undo the oil lines, undo these V-bands, and then the whole thing could pretty much come off in one piece, I think. So yeah, I might still move these back. I might see if I can just buy these ones off of Dustin and then just like send him some new ones so that I don't have to wait. But we'll see what he thinks. And yeah, I'm excited. Should work out perfect. Everything's looking way better than I thought it would. I'm gonna go get a coil pack to double, triple check. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it'll be kind of tight, but I think it'll work. If not, we can always get a couple plug wires with a straight 90 and run them around and down. That wouldn't be a big deal. These are actually a lot looser fitting, so to speak, than I thought. So awesome, awesome. I think we have a plan. Now I just need to get some stuff ordered. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. If you want any merch, first link in the description below. If you need any injectors from Snake Eater Performance, use code Snydertron for 10% off. If you need anything from Circle D, use code Snyder3000 for 10% off. Again, I appreciate all the support you guys have given. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell. I'll see you next time.